So traders, I want to talk to you about how swing trading actually saved my trading career and how day trading almost destroyed it. Day trading simply means you're getting in and getting out on the same day. You're very active all the time, or you're looking for short-term, like weekly income type of strategies. All those sort of spread strategy with options and so on and so forth. They are the worst type of trading strategies. Now, if you go to getjohntop.com, my equity curve is on there. So it's like, who is this guy? If you actually want to see my equity curve for last year, then go to getjohntop.com and you'll be able to see that my equity curve is actually on there. So you can see my real equity curve, okay? Now here's the thing. One thing that I've found, and one thing that's actually helped me now do really well from trading. Okay, where I'm at right now, after 20 years of trading, when I first started trading, my first 5 years, I was $250,000 in debt by day trading and trying to be active all the time and trying to get in and not really understanding the game, right? Now, fast forward, again, when I first started trading my first 5 years, I was $250,000 in debt. Fast forward where I'm right now, I'm in the what's called the top 1%, when my 1% is what I make. And again, like, all my trades that I take with my 1% group. You can see all that over at getjohntop.com if you want to join the 1% group and see what I'm doing every single day in the markets. But here's the thing. Swing trading saved my life, and here's why. When I started swing trading more, I started to really tap into the ability to be able to have big profits and small losses. And so what that ended up doing is that instead of me looking for, because you know the big problem with day trading, right, is one, you're active all the time. Two, there's a lot of trades, and three, you end up having sometimes even if you had an okay win-loss ratio, your profits are actually smaller than your losses, and then it's a downhill recipe from there. Make sense? So what ended up happening with me, and this is where I want to encourage you to, if you want long-term big success in the markets, swing trading is the way to go. Now, swing trading simply means is that for me, I'm getting in the market today, call it a stock, whatever, and I'm looking to hold it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, sometimes a couple of months. And I'm looking to swing that for a really big profit. So instead of me having 10 trades in a month on day trading, day trading, or I trade every single day, day trading, small profits, I can have one trade and look for a really big profit. See the differences there, right? So therefore, I'm more picky about that one trade. Because if I can find that one trade, get in and have a really big profit, now I could be 50-50 right and still absolutely crush it and do really, really well as a trader. This was the thing that switched for me, right? It completely switched everything for me because now I do that. And now overlay things like what's called options, where I can actually have, in some of my trades, they run on for like 200-300% return, right? And meaning utilizing the option there, right? So if you had, say, 10% of your trading account, one of the things I love about trading options in this example here is, say you've had a $100,000 trading account, right? And you took 10% of your trading account and you put into one trade. I know on average it's going to be around about 20 to 30% loss on average, around about that 20 to 30% loss if I have lost there. So what's that loss there? If I took 10% of my account, $100,000, I took 10 grand, and then out of that 10 grand, I'm now going to have what, 20, 30% loss if that's the loss. Now I'm risking what, 2 to 3% of my account. Okay, cool. I understand that. That's on average. But what happens if that trade then runs on for 200% return? Now your entire account went up by 20 grand. So that means you made $20,000 on one trade by risking $2,000 to $3,000. Wait, say that again, John. This is where swing trading saved my life. This is the real numbers that I've been getting, right? 200-300% return, and so on and so forth, right? Now, I don't always get these numbers, but this is what I'm trying to do. Once again, when you have a strategy where you can swing it for a big profit for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, one. Secondly, have things like options where I can put on 10% of my trading account, I only have a 2 to 3% risk. Again, I use the numbers as a $100,000 trading account to keep it simple. $100,000 trading account, I take $10,000, which is 10% of my account, I put it into one trade. Okay, cool. I know if I'm going to have a loss in this trade, I'm going to be risking $2,000 to $3,000 because of 20 to 30%. Okay, but this trade could run on for even 300%. I had a trade recently that ran on that actually almost made, it was 280% return. Let's do the numbers on that there. You have a $100,000 trading account. You put $10,000 into that one trade. You're risking what? $2,000 to $3,000 out of that $10,000. The trade that I did just a couple of weeks ago, I got out of 280% return. I made, in that example, that example would be what? $28,000 profit by risking $2,000 to $3,000 on average. Sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less. Like I just had a recently, I had a loss. I got out was a 9% loss, and stuff like that. But do you see what I'm saying here? Do you see that there? So that means your account grew by 28%. You made $28,000, and that trade lasts about 6 weeks. You see the differences. This is where my 1% club is game changer for people that actually want a game change. Again, I'm plugging my 1% group, guys. Go to getjohntop.com. You see my equity curve. You see more details about it over there. But you see the differences here, right? This is when everything changed for me, because trading is hard. Trading is difficult. Trading is a hard thing to do. So I need to put all these levers in place to give myself the best chance. So even if I have a horrible win-loss ratio, I'm giving myself the best chance. Even if I'm getting excited. Even if I only had a 50% win-loss ratio, which that's horrible. I'm having a much better win-loss ratio. I want to be able to what? Generate a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 profit. If in this example of using $100,000 trading account, if I can get in on a 20, if I can get a $20,000 or a $30,000 profit in the space of 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm only risking a couple of $1,000s, you see the differences there, right? Now, obviously, how you do it is obviously you got to know the strategy, you got to know the pattern to get into. Then you got to know how to keep your emotions in control, where let your profits run, catch your loss short, all that sort of stuff. That's obviously what I do as a coach, right? I teach people to do. But once you see the difference here, right? This is where everything changed, and this is where day trading almost destroyed my life, and swing trading and swing trading basically saved my life from there. You see the differences there, and then here's the best part that happened. Not only do I make so much more money now than I ever had this day trading, because I'm getting these big profits, but because I'm swing trading, I'm only spending an hour, maybe 2 hours a day maximum on the markets. That's all I need to do, because I'm only looking, I'm studying, I'm looking for the next opportunities, I'm building watch list, I'm managing the trades I'm in right now, I'm looking for new opportunities, right? And that only takes me a couple hours. Actually, really takes me an hour per day. I do a couple hours a day because I have a 1% group, and I'm with that 1% group for an hour, sometimes a bit longer, per day, where I'm showing them what I'm doing, and I'm coaching them, helping them, and guiding them through the process. Again, go to getjohntop.com and you'll be able to see that through there. But the whole thing about this, whole thing about this video is I want you to see that this is the differences here, right? Because I could be 50-50 right. If I have 10 trades and five of those trades are $2,000, $3,000, maybe $4,000 losses, and the other 5 trades are $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 profits, you make a lot of money. You see the differences here, right? Now, put an example of that, my last trade, 28%. Using the same numbers, $100,000 trading account, $10,000 on the trade, and then guess what? You make what? $28,000. How many of those trades do you need throughout the entire year for you to start to do 6 figures? Right? Now, where I'm at now, I'm doing $20,000 and $30,000 trades. You know what I mean? Now you see how just one really good trade for me can make me 6 figures. I hope you can see the numbers here, right? I hope you can see the whole numbers here from that perspective. Now, I'm not saying you'll do this, right? You probably, if you're not used to a $10,000 trade, you wouldn't do a $10,000 trade, right? You might start with a $1,000 trade, you build it up, right? But I'm trying to give you the big picture. I'm trying to give you the understandings of why if you're day trading and you're short-term trading and look for this short-term income, it is destroying you. It is absolutely destroying you. Once I switched it from swing trading, where I'm not active all the time, I don't trade all the time. But if I can take one really good trade a month and hold for 4 to 6 weeks and make 100%, 200%, 300% return, right? I had a trade recently that did like 400 or 500% return, somewhere around that. It was just crazy. You see the differences here, right? You do 2 of those trades back to back, before you know it, you make it $50,000, $60,000. Some of you guys make that per year, but that's only on 2 trades. Now again, there's skill to it and so on and so forth. But this is where, guys, I'm telling you right now, once I started to apply this to my trading, everything changed for me, right? Because it just makes sense, right? It just makes sense. Trading is a hard thing. It's a difficult thing, especially if you're trading 1-minute charts. That's always the hardest thing there. But once I started looking at more swing trade opportunities to benefit from that, that's when everything changed for me.